For those at really any stage of life wanting to recognize this, that, okay, not anything is promised to us or to our loved ones or those around us. Not each day is a gift. And yet we hope to live long lives and plan responsibly and intentionally for that. What advice would you give for finding kind of the tension of holding both, recognizing crisis, emergency, tragedy can happen, but we also want to plan for a life fully lived for a long time? How do you recommend holding that tension?
And that's a great question, especially with everything that we've discussed so far, right? And so that's kind of the center and the focus of the work we do at the Institute on Holistic Wealth. Because when I train certified holistic wealth consultants, I'm training them to develop or to help clients build a holistic wealth portfolio. And this holistic wealth portfolio is comprises the pillars that we talked about and really resolves that tension that you mentioned about balancing the finances with the other pillars in our lives. Because when you have a financial advisor, and I train financial advisors with MBAs with their own firms, and they came forward to me and they were like, no, there are too many gaps in the market where, yes, we're giving women financial advice, but we're not tapping into the holistic perspective that you outline in your book. And so that's what we're doing. One part of the portfolio is a financial independence portfolio, right? And within that, you're planning on taking the breaks you want to take. You're planning on retiring at the date you want to retire. And you're planning on all the bits of your financial goals within there. And then we have the rest of the portfolio that balances out all of the other, money focused goals. And of course, as I said, like, women are looking for a life of freedom over their time, freedom over their money. So they're looking at crafting a holistic wealth portfolio that looks completely different from one or portfolios that we're used to seeing. So I just wanted to make it clear, because if you Google holistic wealth, you'll see a lot of financial institutions talking about holistic wealth. And what they're talking about is something completely different. They're talking about, within the suite of instruments that we have available at this bank, here's holistic wealth. Now, I'm speaking beyond those things. So absolutely, you need to have an emergency fund, and it needs to be, I'm recommending 9 to 12 months. And absolutely, you need to have your insurance policies in place. And absolutely, you need to have some investments and all of that, right? You need to be investing. But beyond that, we have some other life goals, right? Like, I might want to retire in the next 3 years. I might want to retire in 10 years. How am I planning for that? And how am I planning for the life that I want to live in retirement? And let's say I'm financially independent now, but I don't want to retire yet. I want to keep working, or I want to build my business. How do I plan for that? And how do I, balance that with all the goals that I have? And so that holistic wealth portfolio is unique to your goals. It's unique to what you want to accomplish in life. And it has everything in there. We talked about the trauma of money. We talked about the fact that you might have gone through a setback. How can we build a holistic wealth portfolio that is resilient for you, that helps you to bounce back even better than before? Because when my husband died, that was one of my main pet peeves. It was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be set back permanently in life now? Luckily, I had started investing at 21 and was financially independent by 31. So when he died, I already had a multi-million-dollar portfolio of investments, right? But I was still thinking about, okay, well, now it's, one person, and I'm just 31 now. What about when I reach 50 or 60? What is my portfolio going to look like? And I was concerned about that still. So I still kept investing and I still kept doing things. But honestly, if I had had this holistic wealth portfolio before my husband died, some of the things that I would have done differently. And the sabbatical I went on would have been planned for. Every step that I would have been planned for. And that's what we help women do. So that's how we kind of get over that tension between, that finances and living a life of joy and aligning, and what about the other pillars? And then you can see where you're weak, right? You can see where in the portfolio where you're lacking, where the gaps are, how resilient your portfolio is. If we plan for 2 life-altering setbacks per decade, can you overcome these setbacks? And are we planning for that properly within your portfolio? Because if not, there's a problem. And these aren't things that are happening at the bank, or, so this is something that a solution developed from my perspective based on, what I know was needed in the industry. And I'm coming at it as a female economist, as someone who knows, in terms of budgeting and paying down debt and all this type of thing, what it is that I think women needed.
Yeah, I love that
Keisha,
you refer
thank
to
you.
it, yeah, as a portfolio. And I think other nerds will like resonate with that. Not non-nerds may be uncomfortable by it, but like it's a portfolio that has all the things in it. It's not like a spectrum where you can choose your like money or living your life. It's not a spectrum. It's a portfolio. And we put all of them in there, and we can change. It should be diversified, but we can change the ratios at any time we need or like. And I love that kind of shift in mindset on you don't have to balance. It's not a seesaw. It's a portfolio that you create and adjust.